Hey guys, so today I'm gonna do the Bible study for Psalm 2. So again, I'm gonna link the video that kind of helped me analyze this passage below in the description if you guys want to check it out. And yeah, so let's get into reading this. Sorry for not posting like every day. Like I posted my introduction in Psalm 1, but then I was at the beach with my family for like 2-3 days, and then I had a retreat at my church yesterday, and I have it today later. But yeah, so I have time right now to do this. I'm making time. So all right, so Psalm 2, this is the NIV version, by the way. So, why do the nations conspire and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth rise up, and the rulers band together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, "Let us break their chains and throw off their shackles." The one enthroned in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them. He rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his wrath, saying, "I have installed my king on Zion, my holy mountain. I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, 'You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. You will break them with a rod of iron. You will dash them to pieces like pottery. Therefore, you kings, be wise, be warned, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and celebrate his rule with trembling. Kiss his son, or he will be angry and your way will lead to your destruction, for his wrath can flare up in a moment. Blessed are all who take refuge in him." Okay, so the overall theme, I'd say, of this passage is defiance. So in the first verse here, we have the psalmist questioning, questioning and mystified, like, why do the nations conspire and the peoples plot in vain? Why do they do it? Their plotting is in vain. It's not going to get them anywhere, and it's not going to achieve anything. So why do they do it? It's because they're wasting time with these useless plans against God. But the kings and the people are angry, and they want to run away from God, even though he's the only thing that can save them. So that is why their plotting is in vain. I think this can be related to a lot of things in life. Like, I know for myself, every time I try to be a better person or do certain things in life by myself, without God, without looking to him for instruction and stuff, I'm on a hamster wheel and I literally get nowhere. So you can, a lot of people these days are angry at God, especially with all that's going on in the world and plotting against him and stuff like that. And it's not going to get any of us anywhere, because he is the only one who can save us. So it is in vain. And then you see in verse 3, it says, "Let together and against the nations conspire, and the kings of the earth rise up and band up together against the Lord and against his anointed, Jesus, saying, 'Let us break their chains and throw off their shackles.'" So this is basically like a representation of breaking the chains and throwing off their shackles, a representation of how, like, freeing themselves from slavery to God. So there's this idea, a lot of people believe, a lot of people who do not trust in God and stuff believe that, like, it's like slavery. God, like, holds you in bondage or slavery, which we know is not true. So yeah, this verse 3 is like a metaphor for freeing themselves from slavery, the nations and the kings wanting to free themselves from slavery to God. So don't be like the people of the nations that try to run away from him. Blessed are the ones that take refuge in him and who trust in him, because God is a bondage breaker, not someone who puts you into bondage. So, we can defy God and perish, basically, or take refuge in him and flourish. And that's like what this, psalm is getting across. So, you also see that the rulers are taking counsel together against God and his anointed Christ, right? So if you oppose the Father, you're also opposing the Son, right? If you oppose God, you're also opposing Jesus, and likewise the other way. And I want to go back to the idea that God has put bondage on humanity. This idea that he puts us into slavery, and the kings of the earth and the people want to break their bondage to him. As I said before, like, it's important to emphasize that God is a bondage breaker, not someone who puts us into bondage. God breaks the bondage you feel the bondage you are in, and the bondage you feel to this world when you are in the world and not with him. And like, I can attest to that for myself, because every time I try to run, it's like I literally get nowhere. It's like I am in chains and shackles, because when I'm defying, I get nowhere. Like, literally a hamster wheel. So like, I've definitely seen that in my life, how it is so in vain to defy him. Like, you need to like submit to God and his will for your life, because if you've been there, and I'm trying to like get out of those chains and shackles to the world right now and submit myself. So, also, as you see you see God laughing at the way man plots against him. That is in verse 4. It says, the one enthroned in heaven laughs. So he's laughing at their plotting in vain and their anger toward him. He's laughing at it. He scoffs at them, and he rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his wrath. So he's laughing at man plotting against him, which is interesting, right? It's like he's not fazed. He's not shaken. He is the creator of all. He sits on a throne in heaven. He is not shaken by people plotting against him and stuff like that. He's not depressed and worried and stuff. He laughs because he's sitting in perfect peace and resting in the heavens. So, the earth has nothing on him. It's not going to shake him. Like, he created us. So that plotting against him makes him scoff and laugh, because he knows like how it is completely useless. And so it's good to like clear up, though, that he isn't laughing at the pain of humanity and the suffering and the brokenness, because we are all of the above. So he's not laughing at how we're suffering and struggling, how we are lame and we are just like dragging along. He's not laughing at that. He's laughing at the proud boasting and proud rejection of him and his will. So that's what he's laughing at, how, people so proudly boast and reject him. But he's definitely not laughing at like our sufferings or anything like that. And another thing that's important in this passage to notice is that, so instead of just seeing this defiance, laughing at it, and then acting and like bringing down his wrath, he speaks first. So he speaks to defiant men before he acts, because why is he speaking to the defiant men before he acts, and brings down his wrath? Well, it's because he loves us. His love and his mercy cause him to speak a word of warning first before he brings down this wrath. He tells them that he has established a king that is greater than they are. So you can see this in verse So where it says he rebukes them in it, verse 5, he rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his wrath. So where it says terrifies them in his wrath, that's the NIV version, but there are other versions that say he speaks to them in his wrath. So, you know, he speaks to them first saying, I have installed my king on Zion. I have installed my king on Zion, my holy mountain. So he's like giving them a word of warning first, like, I have established a king greater than you are. You know what I mean? He's speaking this word of warning, giving them the chance to like take hold of this and submit to this before he acts. So that's because he's merciful and he loves us. So he doesn't just bring down his wrath without speaking to us first. So that's also for us in life. Like, he's not going to just bring down his wrath on you without you knowing, without you having the chance to listen to what he has to say first. So and then and this whole thing ends also in you see in verse 9 where it says, you will break them with a rod of iron, you will dash them to pieces like pottery. This is how like Jesus will reign, basically. The people who are defiant, he will, you know, break them with his rod of iron and dash them to pieces like pottery. So, and then there's the warning of, therefore you kings, be wise, be warned. You rulers of the earth, you serve the Lord with fear and celebrate his rule with trembling. So it's this like warning here now. You know, I'm warning you, be wise, be warned, serve the Lord with fear and celebrate his rule with trembling. So serve the Lord, kiss his son, verse 12, which means like, not literally like, it's like a imagery of submission. So submit to his son or he will be angry. And like we saw in verse 9, breaking with a rod of iron and dashing to pieces like pottery, you know, submit to his son, verse 12, or he will be angry and your way will lead to your destruction, for his wrath can flare up in a moment. That's important. Your way will lead to your destruction. If you choose to be defiant, you are causing your own destruction and your own sufferings in life. And that's definitely what I've noticed with me. When I'm defiant, I am 100% causing my own suffering and my own go around on the hamster wheel, you know? So when I submit, you know, and working on submitting to God will cause fruit to be born in my life, and whatever that may mean, whatever his will is. So then this psalm ends with basically a call to give up foolish defiance. So this psalm showed us, you know, what foolish defiance leads to, gave a warning, and then ends with a call to give it up. So this is where it says, blessed are all who take refuge in him. So if you take refuge in him, you will not be leading yourself to your destruction, and you will be joyous, blessed, delighted, and taken out of bondage instead of being put in bondage. So that is Psalm 2. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed, you know, reflecting on it. So that is all for now, and then I'll be up with Psalm 3. I'll show you how I decorated this one. I colored in the little flowers. And then unfortunately I couldn't find like the cool print for Psalm 3, so like maybe I'll just have to like decorate it on my own. But yeah, Psalm 3 and Psalm 4 coming next. I still have to glue Psalm 4 in and, you know, write my notes and do my little study. So I've just been preoccupied with the retreat and the beach and stuff. So yeah, have a good day, guys.